every month we are still hitting record numbers of people coming across the southern border. Every month we are hitting a new record. And I think I don't want people to get tired of this issue, because every month a new record means it's that much more important we do something, means it's that much more incompetent the Biden administration is. And I just don't think you hear about it as much as you did, say, 6 months ago. And we can't get tired of this invasion. So people coming across the border are almost all coming across the border after paying the Mexican drug cartels. So you can't really talk about the invasion here without that. And you can't talk about the Mexican drug cartels without talking about the drugs. And the fact we have over 100,000 Americans dying every year. An idea of the size of that problem, 57,000 Americans died in the Vietnam War. We're now having 108,000 Americans die. Twice as many die every year from illegal drugs as died in 12 years in the Vietnam War. So there's a very important task force I've been placed on. One of the things we're going to be looking at, or things that I'm going to be looking at, we're going to do different groups, is legal loopholes and exploitation of the U.S. legal system. I'd like to direct it towards the welfare, because we know that people coming here illegally are getting the welfare. First of all, nobody should come in here illegally. But secondly, some people say, well, we've got all these hardworking people, we need these hardworking people. Well, let's focus on all the people who aren't that hardworking, because we know very well a lot of them are taking advantage of government transfer payments, which means we're not getting their best. Under President Trump, like him or not, we had about a tenth as many people coming across. And it was basically just one policy. Under President Trump, they said you've got to stay in Mexico pending an asylum hearing. Well, there it is. Right away you'd go from like 230, 240,000 a month to under 20,000 a month. Now, there are other things. Eventually you build a wall, which would be helpful as well. You hire more Border Patrol agents, which would be helpful as well. The main thing is just keep people south of the border. Now, another thing we've had under President Biden is on these asylum hearings, has the government paying for lawyers to help these people who are trying to come here illegally. Well, as soon as you get lawyers involved, they suggest to people what they should be saying and that sort of thing, which is a problem as well. I don't know why we'd be paying lawyers for this situation. I mean, we've got to make it clear around the world that if you come here, you are not going to get in. Whenever I'm on the southern border, I've been down there only once in the last 8 months, but whenever I've been down on the southern border, the Border Patrol points out these are not poor people coming across. Okay, I mean, if you look at them, they do not look emaciated. You look at their shoes, you look at the purses, not necessarily poor people. The Border Patrol feels that the overwhelming majority of people here are not people who are starving in their own country, whether they're coming here from Cuba, whether they're coming here from Brazil, whether they're coming here from Colombia. They're just coming here because you can make more money in the United States. Well, by that standards, we could invite, another 500 million people here. We could triple the size of the U.S. population if the standard is just, I could make more money in the United States. Do not get sucked into this idea of we are taking desperately poor people, hungry people from around the world. That's not what's going on here. The cartels advertise around the world for people. This is big business for them. Whenever I'm down there, the Border Patrol insists that the cartels are making more money bringing in people than they are bringing in drugs. And because they can make so much money, maybe they're making 18, 19,000 if you're coming here from India, they advertise in these other countries and say, now's the time to come to the United States for $18,000, for $12,000. People can get together that amount of money, and if they know that the American border is in essence open, they will scrape together $12,000 or $18,000 and come here. Or if they're coming here from Central America, maybe they won't scrape together the money, but their relatives in, let's say, Honduras or El Salvador are kind of collateral. The drug cartels know where they are, and they say, we'll let your brother or son come here, but then you're in trouble unless they remit the $8,000 or $10,000 once they get to the United States. So that's something else that's going on. There's human trafficking involved. Human trafficking, by the way, I think in a lot of cases is another word for prostitution, and that's going on as well. We know that there are minors coming across without adults. Unaccompanied minors can be, 10,000 a month. And according to the New York Times, they claim that 85,000 minors have been lost by the Office of Refugee Resettlement. Now, they claim it's only like 25,000 lost. But can you imagine if that had happened under another administration? 25,000 minors coming here unsupervised, and we don't know where they are.